1 second. Mhm. There's a big audio issue apparently, so I'll add a audio capture source, and then that should.
So
There we go.
they're watching us because we're live. TV. Can they
We're
hear
all
us?
good. Yeah.
All good. Fantastic. Hello. Welcome back, faithful viewer, to No Theoretical Bias, Fortress of Bone. Fortress of Bone. Just as a scheduling note for first time viewers, we try to do about a 3 hour session, 90 minutes, take a bio break, assess, see how much more story and narrative that these wonderful folks can generate. And then we try to wrap up in the following 90 minutes. So it's only 3 hours of your life you won't get back, folks. So welcome, welcome. Let's start with a quick recap of last time, when last we met. Candles in the darkness. When last we met, our brave adventurers returned triumphant to the Temple of Light, full of news and new opportunities. Upon reaching the temple, or at least the temple environment, they saw another armed group, big one. 11 armed and armored people leaving. Some kind of big old knight on a desert horse, 10 soldierly type followers, and a train of pack bearers. The pack bearers didn't really look very happy with their situation. So, uh, Acolyte Xander reported to his superiors about a possible site for a new camp or even a new temple at the former Fortress of Bone and was promoted. Yay! Now, Brother Xander. Then they were introduced to Albrecht, a warrior of some renown, and all associated, so protect each other out in the wilds. Xander was given a vague-ish order to look around for any possible threats to the temple going forward. Um, Now, when they were asking about the armed party that was leaving, they were told of the Dominion. Ooh, the Dominion is a group that's new to the area, and they're kind of offering kind of a protection thing, not quite a protection racket, but hey, if you pay us a little bit of a tithe, we won't let anything bad happen to you. Temple isn't really wild about this and wants some more information about them. So all indications are that the Dominion is somewhere to the northwest of the temple. So the group obviously set out to gather some information. Unfortunately, the route there is dangerously close to the necropolis, a ruined pre-fall city. It's truly massive, lots of danger, but also lots of opportunity and things like relics, gear, magical knowledge, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, hint, hint. So, sticking to the outskirts, they encountered a poisoned one nomad. The poisoned ones were cursed apparently by a dying god, so that all of their bodily fluids are deadly poisons. They approached him vaguely courteously, and he was amenable to talking. Hadn't seen anybody fitting the description of the Dominion, but he had done a few distance trades with some tribal folks living a little farther into the necropolis. He called them the Bug People for some reason and pointed the party on their way. So, investigating slightly deeper into the ruined city, they did encounter some people-ish types of the proper description. The poison one probably called them the bug folk because they're wearing giant bug chitin as armor. Looks pretty tough, actually. They were a little skittish and a little defensive when approached, but Albrecht gave them the old talking is always better than dying, right? And they picked the talking part. So, little gifts of food and water have been exchanged. So you are technically guests now. What do you do?
We're all like sitting around, like kind of next to each other, right?
Yeah, they One of them was looking around at the sky nervously. So you were all brought into this ruined building. It's a little squishy. You're not sure that it's not going to come falling down around you in the next 6 weeks or anything, but at least it has overhead cover out of the sun. And they set up a circle, and I'll sit down and look, you know, menacing and important. And again, food and water has been exchanged, so you're doing this civilized. What do you do?
Does anyone have any like communication thing or anything like that?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the best when it comes to well, okay, I have a kind of okay hunt.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I might try to maybe I could offer up something. Just try and buy a little bit of something. I think okay. Let's see. I have a little bit of jingle.
Hmm.
I think I'll pull out a little bit of jingle and just like hand it to them. Just kind of like as a like a this is they gave us some like foodish waterish
Oh,
gifts, right?
okay. Well, um, apparently the few people here that you're dealing with, they're not familiar with your language or your customs. So they've all taken off their helmets. Pretty impressive. If that was a giant ant, you would not want to get bit by it. So they courteously accept whatever offering you gave them. They inspect it and look at it and pass it around a little bit. And there's some gestures. They do have a language. Again, it sounds odd to your ear. It also incorporates a lot of sign language, so you can be quiet. And so they come to some sort of agreement, and they gift you back a few things. Um, Basically, however much jingle you coughed up, they give you the equivalent or rough equivalent in food and water. Basically, it's like a flattened. It's like they're like dried sausage patties almost. You're not quite sure of the meat. Um, it actually has a smell of seafood. You're like, this smells not unpleasant. And then a couple of woven. Oh no, sorry, they're leather. Um, like water skins. The interesting thing about them is they have hard sides, and the hard sides are circles or ovals of this bug chitin as well. So they don't have to use as much leather because they've got the big things of bug armor. Um, so a couple of hard sided canteens and some food. Basically, you picked up one, two, like four uses of water, four uses of food for the exchange. So they're looking at you
Luther,
expectantly.
Luther. Uh,
Yes.
you might want to take some of this water and food. People who don't have as much water and food, you might want to.
I mean, I guess having more than one food and water could be helpful.
Okay. Any of you who have a sharp bonus, +1 or better, if at any time I say, "Oh, do any of you speak?" Oh, these are the people of the Grognar Mountains. Do any of you speak Grognar? You say, "I can speak it," and then write that down. Once you have languages that exceed your sharp bonus, you can roll for it to see if you can like sling the lingo a little bit, but you won't be entirely fluent. Just enough. Donde está el baño? Dos más cervezas, por favor. That kind of a thing. Get you around the tavern, get you a good place to sleep for the night. But yeah, so these bug folk uh, don't share a language with any of you unless you tell me that you do. And they're kind of expectant. The leader type asks you a question. It's obvious that he's asking you a question. Um, you know,
Could I roll to see if I know?
what's your short bonus?
2.
Two. Oh, okay. If you want to say that you understand this dialect, yeah,
I
you
understand this dialect.
beautiful. Okay. He says, well, we're welcome to our hearth for the moment, strange travelers. They're looking at Albrecht. Uh, you travel with armored one. You travel with one dangerous. He has a lean and hungry look. But what can the folk do for you? And
Well,
I'm assuming if you want somebody else to talk, I'm assuming that you're translating this for everybody. If there's anything that you don't want to have shared to the rest of the group, tell me when it happens.
uh, I basically reply, I apologize for my friend. He has a sharp tongue, but he's good at heart. Uh, but we are here to learn more about your tribe. We're our travelers.
Hmm. Uh, Forgive me. Um, the world is a dangerous place, and if it wouldn't be too much of a problem if you could just forget that you ran into us here. We don't need any attention from anyone. Um, Thank you. Appreciate your interest. But with all the other hazards around, yeah, we don't need newcomers schmying around and poking their noses in places that might be better ignored. That we don't have anything. I mean, we barely have enough for ourselves to eat and whatnot.
I completely understand. But did you hear like about a Dominion sort of group up in this area?
All right, now you have their entire attention. Okay, there are blades and clubs, and you're with the Dominion.
Absolutely not.
All right. Okay, the tension goes down a notch. Why do you ask of these people?
We are off to find them, figure out who they are, what they're about, uh, as a sort of scholarly mission.
Well, I am no scholar, but I can tell you who they are and what they're about.
That'd be great.
Control. Dominion is not just a name. They want control, and they are evil at heart. They treat people as things. That is not our way at all. And we have people in our group who ran afoul of the Dominion. No, they are a, a stain on a ruined world, and I fear them. They they're like greedy children. They have two handfuls of food, and they're eating out of both, and then they want a bite of yours. They're insatiable. And if they know who you are and where you are, they're coming. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they're coming. And you would do well to steer clear of them. Oh, and their little honeyed words too. Oh, we come in peace. We'll protect you. Yes, they'll protect you from everyone except themselves, and they're the biggest threat. They they've got fortresses north of here, not close. Get Thorn and some conversation. This teenager shows up. Um, wiry, wiry. This kid is all muscle and bone, but he looks like a dried out stick of beef jerky. Okay, um, and it's got some haunted eyes, scars on his face. Um, they look like whip marks. And he nods to the elder and looks curiously at you. He's he looks really hard at Brother Xander, but apparently there's what he's satisfied with what he sees, but you got an extra look. Yes, Elder. These people were asking about the Dominion. We think they are misguided souls who know nothing about the Dominion, and they come asking. What would you tell them, Thorn? Thorn switches to your dialect. I'll tell you anything you want to know. They caught me. They caught me. They caught me and my brother 5 years ago. We were out messing around, and they caught us. And oh, the pretty words. And oh, come back. Oh, we'll show you wonders. We'll show you wonders. Yeah, they showed us wonders. They showed us the wonders that they had us build under a whip, carrying stone, mining, quarrying, making arrows. Worked my brother to death. And when he died, I said that nope, they're not going to. I will die free. I'm not going to live here as enslaved. Nope. So I plotted my escape and I left, and I got out about 4 years ago. And I'm not from around here, but the folk found me and nursed me back to health, and I needed it. And these are my people now. You don't want anything to do with Dominion. They've got some vision. Oh, just the talk. Every week we got a little bit of rest, and they would drag us into their temple or barracks or whatever the hell it was, and one of them would stand up and just preach at us about how wonderful the world was going to be under the Dominion, how just awesome it would be, and every full bowls and everybody with clean water, and they're obsessed. So I mean, I'd rather deal with the rat folk than Dominion ever again. I'd rather deal with the ghouls than the Dominion ever again. The ghouls are nice enough; they'll just eat you once. That'll be all, Thorn. So, anything else I can do to assist you, travelers?
Hey, Ranveer, you should ask them like how they would go about handling the Dominion, and if they would be willing, if there was a more united front, if they may be willing to stand up for themselves if the Dominion came here, or if it's better to run.
My friend here wants to ask if there was a more united front against the Dominion, would you be agreeable to that idea?
Thorn, forgive me, Armored One, if you have a interpreter. I feel like I should have one too, just in case. So, between the four of you, uh, am I to understand you're offering an alliance?
It could be possible.
Who do you serve?
As much as my friends here are all wanderers, I am I guess now a brother. I got a recent promotion. I'm now a brother of the light of Akari, and I have quite a few people who I feel very protective of. And the Dominion came to our lands, and I am worried that soon our children will become just like your interpreter over here.
and he has a few quiet words with Thorn. Thorn nods a lot. Our brother here says that your temple is a place of learning and healing, or at least that's the rumor. People have a tendency to say good things about your folk. It strikes me that you encountered us by accident. This was not a diplomatic mission. However, ah, he rummages around a little bit and gives you a ring. It's probably part of like a bug pincher or a little leg or something. They've sawed it off to make a ring. Basically, he rummages around until he finds one that fits you. It's like, all right. Um, so, if and when you return um, in an official capacity, just show that to any of the folk that you encounter, and they'll bring you to me unharmed. Guest right, etc. And if your organization has any solid plans on how to defend against the Dominion, I'll tell you this: they're well armed, they're well organized, and they are highly motivated. So take that into account in your deliberations. Anything else that you would have from us? We do know a little bit about the surrounding areas.
Luther, did you want to ask about the necropolis at all? Or
Yeah, actually. Could you possibly ask him about the necropolis for me?
My other friend here would like to know about the necropolis.
Ah, well, we take advantage of the fact that nobody comes to the dead city. We're in it, but we're not very far in it, and we try to keep our heads down beneath the notice of the other groups that make their home here. Broadly, there are really, I mean, apart from the usual hazards anywhere out in the wilds, there's broadly only three groups. Three factions is too strong of a word, but over to the west of us is the bugs. They they're we don't really know what their motivation is. There's a lot of them. They're very large. They act either intelligent or controlled. They're building something to the west. We haven't really gotten close enough to look, and nor do we want to. But they have a tendency to attack and scavenge just about anything that moves. So be really careful. One of the reasons that we wear this armor is we found out that if they see us like this, they think we're bugs. At least the dumber ones do. They think we're bugs and they ignore us. So it's kind of a camouflage. To the south of us, that's going to be the rat folk. They're smart. Can't say they're not. They're very smart. And they're not above trading. but they're very shrewd and, you know, it's one of those things. There's some places if you trade, count your rings. You know, if somebody kisses your hand, count your rings. When you're trading with the rat folk, count your fingers. Right? Those little guys, they know what they're doing. Okay, so yeah, and you know sometimes they're in a better mood than others. So just be careful. Last, ghouls. Southwest of here is just riddled with ghoul warrens. That part of the old city is still in pretty good shape. And there are, what do they call that when you poop in a hole and a pipe takes it away? Sewers. Sewers. Yeah, there's still the sewer system down there is apparently still kind of sort of in decent shape, and they use that to get from place to place out of the light. Um, if you hear your friend calling you from the dark, no, you didn't. They're excellent mimics. Um, if you hear a baby crying, no, you didn't. Okay. Um, and they're smart enough to be a problem. They travel in packs. No good. We have. I mean, we get in and out of the bug territory. We occasionally deal with the rat folk when we don't have any other choices. The ghouls, we just leave. Yeah, no, they don't. They don't want anything that we're willing to trade. Let's put it that way. So, they exchange a few pleasantries with you about how they hope you have a long and happy and boring life. Um, what else do you do?
If nobody else has any questions, I thank them for their hospitality.
Okay. Does anybody else have any question?
I might just
Not,
ask.
not for now.
I might just ask like where the, for instance, the Northwest tribes were mentioned a while ago, and see if they have
Yeah.
any clue about them.
Due north of here, that's where Thorn. Well, he didn't talk about it. Due north of here is where they've got some scattered groups. Um, again, nobody particularly organized. And the Dominion has sent raiding parties and that sort of thing against them. They're pretty wary of any strangers, so don't take it too personal. Um, anything else?
I don't think so for now.
Oh, hmm. Well, there might be one thing I don't know. Uh, Thorn is actually volunteering this one. The last I heard before I escaped was that the elders in the Dominion were going to try to make an outpost somewhere here in the necropolis. Um, again, there's a lot of history here. They're real big into history, finding out what happened before, making it better than before, looking for lost magic and potions and recipes and books. Oh gosh, they love their books. So there was some talk about a Dominion outpost somewhere here. Would have had to have been in the north, but I don't have any specifics on that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
No, I think now we just need to plan our next movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
They make their goodbyes and ease out of there. They'll the let's see, sorry. The name of the chief is Bokula. Put that in the chat here. Chief of the folk. So Bokula says you're kind of technically sort of in our territory, and not a lot of stuff comes here. But yeah, if you want to move on sometime before noon, might not be a bad idea. Best of luck, and I'm looking forward to see what your folks have to say about the alliance.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you guys think we should go? Because we got a lot of options.
So we do have information to go back to the temple about the Dominion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if we needed to, we could hit up Necropolis on the way back.
The only issue is, do we have enough like rations and water to get through the necropolis and like really do a whole dive through it?
I mean,
What's your total food and water supply?
Yeah. How much do you guys have?
I'm at 2 out of 5 uses for each.
I got 4.
I got 2.
Okay. Well, did you guys each? So you have 4 for each. Luther.
Yep.
Okay. I'm at 3 for each, but I also have, how many jars do I have left? I have four uses of jars, so we could make it
Oh.
back now,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe we all stock up a little bit extra on the rations and water and try to get through the necropolis. Maybe one of my goals would be to get to the Dominion outpost, see what they're doing. And
Well, I will say, since the bug folk were willing to trade pretty easy for food and water, it didn't look like they were hurting for it. You might, again, we could retcon that. You could buy some food and water from there, so you wouldn't have to go anywhere. Up to you.
what do you guys want to do? Because
I think going back to the temple, restocking there, because we do have the availability of all kinds of shops.
yeah, that
Point of
way we could also be more prepared.
point of fact, you're probably going to run out of food and water before you get back to the temple.
Oh.
Yeah, you passed your point of no return about 2 days ago. I mean, okay, you probably wouldn't die, but you would not be in great shape when you have going
Yeah.
2 days without food and water. No, I mean, if you just wanted to buy enough stuff to,
I think we can do that.
go
I
back.
could buy enough to get back. Yeah, I can get rid of my jingle.
All right, so yeah, Bakula hands you over to the one in charge of like trading with outsiders. Her name is Sorrow, like sorrow, but not quite. Bug trader. Sorrow will trade you. Let's see. It's about 7 days back, so you'll need like what? 5, like 5 each. Does
Yeah.
that sound right? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So with this and that, she's going to want to poke through your jingle to see if there's anything in particular that she likes. Let's see. But Is there anything that you think the locals might like better than just generic money?
How do they feel about sapphires?
Oh, um, I mean, they're pretty, but pretty doesn't fill a belly. Um, you know, um,
What about a short bow?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a bow would be definitely worth something to them. Um, yeah, that'd be good for a jingle. They've got a couple of different kinds of food. There's one, it's just regular rations. It's mostly you find the vaguely seafoody type stuff, that's probably bug. Um, they don't seem to be harmed by eating it. Um, and vaguely tasty in a lobsterish, crabby type of way. They'll give you that standard 5 uses for a jingle. They also make this travel cracker. It ain't great. 7 uses for the same weight, seven meals worth, but you have to have a tough of +1 or better just to choke it down. It's not tasty. Um, you could probably put it in a stew or something and add some spices, but it's fuel. It's people fuel, and it's not very tasty. Um, so it's either 5 uses for one jingle or 7 uses for one jingle, depending on what you can choke down. Water, typically that's going to be 5 uses for one jingle. Um,
Do they offer anything else besides food, or
what
do
did
they just offer food?
what did you want?
I mean, hypothetically, if they were to ever pick up some kind of incense or incense related objects.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, they do a little bit of scavenging in the city um, when they have an opportunity. Hmm. So basically, you're looking for something that burns with a sweet smelling smoke, correct?
Something that could possibly work with a lantern.
Okay. Well, there is a um, pertinent move to that when you're looking for something particular. That's going to be it's a money move. Let's see.
Someone fill your water with 3 uses.
Uh-huh.
I got
Okay.
2 over here that I just needed, so.
Okay. So you're looking for something special, something unavailable, or rare. All right. So go ahead and give me a hot roll there. Let's see what happens. 7. Okay. Um, so um, let's see. Either it's going to cost you one jingle more than you'd expect, or it's not for sale, but somebody might point you at some that might be not available, but you find something. Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, Sarah has got something when the information is passed over, something that has a nice smell. Don't know about the burning part, but she's got these. They're almost like wafers. Um, they're on these tiny little pieces of like intestine, like sausage casing, and something has been dripped on these and let dry. So if you can just imagine this little disc this lumpy kind of disc. It has a very strong musky odor. It's not unpleasant. And she says that they put these they put these in like a pot over a little candle or something, or you can throw them in a fire, and it'll apparently it's kind of a good luck charm thing. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. No one in the tribe really remembers why, but yeah. So it's sort of it's a musky incense. Did you want to try some?
Could I like ask what my lantern thinks? What
Oh,
my
sure.
spirit thinks?
Sure. Give me another hot roll, please. Hates it. Absolutely hates it. Mark experience, please. Yeah, not. Now, on the other hand, you might, if you bought it for like a jingle here, you might be able to sell it more expensively elsewhere. Because again, it's kind of an incense. It's sort of a perfume. I mean, I guess you could use it as a rub it on your armpits or something. But yeah, still interested?
Sure, I'll buy one.
Okay.
Or how many can I get for a jingle?
Like 3 uses.
All right,
3 of
I'll
the
get one.
bucks. Beautiful. Anybody else?
Could I just buy rations of food and water?
Okay. Are you tough enough to do the cheap rations, or do you want just the regular?
Regular.
Okay. Yep. Sure can. Every one jingle you want to spend will get you 5 uses of food.
Got it.
Anybody else looking for anything in particular?
I too would like rations, and I am indeed tough enough to have it.
Okay. Any write it down as an ash meal cracker. Ash like fire ash, meal like stone ground corn. So ash meal cracker, 7 uses for one jingle, and yeah, you could really use some sriracha or something. It's just not tasty. Anybody
I think
else?
probably also, well, I think also water, because I only have 2 uses of that as well.
Okay, 5 uses for one jingle. Oh, and if you wanted to trade that bow, the short bow, that's worth a jingle to the people. Anything else?
I mean, I'm good. I got what I wanted.
Does anyone have any water that they need? I have like 3 extra uses over here for something. If you want to like top off your canteen.
I'll always take an extra water.
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay. So
Ranveer, Sarah has been watching you fairly closely. You're not really sure why. But she says, oh, actually, you understand her perfectly. Do you know anyone who might buy um, words, pictures on a books? Do you know anyone who might buy books?
So definitely back at the temple, I'm sure there's individuals who'd like to buy books.
Hmm. We found some, and we don't have any use for them. So, did you want to buy some books?
Sure, how much?
Well, you do a little bit of haggling. A bag of books is 5 uses, 2 weight. They're rare, and it's probably going to be 2 jingle for that. The thing is, since it's it's basically you can burn a use of books to take a +1 on a recall roll. So somewhere in there is some knowledge that you can use, and then so say you're going to do a recall roll about a monster, and you're like, oh yeah, I got a book here was about monsters. So we decide what the name of that monster book is. You get a +1 to your roll. Again, it's kind of like adventuring gear. Sooner or later, you're going to have 5 named books and what the topic is, and you'd have to get another bag of books to expand that. But yeah, they do have the advantage of being rare, and which means they're expensive. And she'll give you a bag of 5 books for 2 jingle.
Take it.
Beauty.
I'll give Luther 3 of them.
Okay, you can do that.
I know he is a red individual.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so you have enough food and water to make it back home. Let's see. Yeah, since it is still fairly dangerous territory, you're going to have to do a travel trackless wastes. Again, as a reminder, this is going to be a cool roll. And so there's three people that you need to deal with. A wayfinder, a scout, and a quartermaster. So the trailblazer could possibly reduce the time it takes to get from point A to point B. The scout makes sure nothing gets the drop on you while you're traveling. And the quartermaster can ration the food and water to the point where you might be able to save food and water on it anyway. So since there are 4 of you, pick which 3 are going to be your trailblazer, scout, and quartermaster.
I have a cool bonus of 0.
Okay.
I have a cool bonus
Okay,
of
so
3.
3.
I have a cool bonus of 1.
I also have 0.
Okay.
So
it
do you want
sounds
to sit out or I sit out?
Well, you guys do it last time. Let me try a roll this time.
okay. So who's doing what?
I volunteer for a quartermaster.
Quartermaster, awesome.
I could be scout.
Scout, awesome. That leaves
I guess
trailblazer.
Trailblazer. Yep.
So go ahead and give me a trailblazer roll just to see if that's going to add or subtract time.
It's just a cool roll, correct?
Straight cool, correct.
Roll. Roll, please. There we go.
Ouch. Mark experience. Okay. So trailblazer. Well, we'll get back to you. All right. So quartermaster, go ahead and give me a roll, please. Oh, okay. 9. Cool. So you would use the normal amount of food and water to get there. And scout, make sure you didn't get the jumped. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. The only problem is you make excellent time. You do run into some bad weather. There was an ash storm that you kind of powered through. But since the ash was vaguely sticky, it's leaving. When you look out the window after a beautiful snowfall and just the entire landscape is changed in this beautiful white, just looks like a postcard that you don't want to be out in and shoveling. This is worse. This is like a light gray to dark gray moonscape. And and again, the visibility sucks. There's still you're breathing through cloth to not suck in all this microscopic ash. So, long story short, you get lost. So go ahead and everybody burn 7 food and 7 water, and you have no idea where you are. It will be a cool roll to figure out where you are and where you need to get to. So anybody who wants to make that roll can, just let me know when.
I mean, I got 3 cool. I can do it.
All right, beautiful. Okay, hey, wonderful. All right, so the good news is you were only a little ways north of where you wanted to be. You were off the main route. You lost the main route. So instead of being here, you were actually up over here just a little bit on the mappage. So that's actually rather easily solved. Now, by the time you make it to the first village here, you are completely out of food and water. But since Brother Xander is known to the locals as a righteous dude, they get you some grub and top off your water skins and canteens for the trip back to the temple. All right, so you're now back at the temple, dusty and ash covered and gross. So they hustle you into the little bathhouse to knock the big chunks off. What do you do?
Could I try to barter my incense in the marketplace or whatever?
Sure. Let's see. Go ahead and give me a hot roll, please. Ouch. Mark experience. Either you can sell it for less than you bought it for, or nobody's interested. Your call.
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna sell it for less than 1, so I'll just say no one's interested.
Okay, beautiful. The other thing is you realize that you didn't wrap it entirely correctly. So on the inside of that bag or whatever, it's kind of been rubbing up against stuff. So your entire pack smells like a wolverine has been sleeping in it. Again, it's not entirely unpleasant, but it is noticeable. So, yay. All right. So, what do y'all do?
If everyone wants to fill on rations, I might go see if I can, like, if everyone wants to like start to gear up to get ready. I want to try and maybe see if I can get an audience with more than just a couple brothers. Like, it might be best if we talk to everybody about this, but I kind of want everyone to be there when that happens. So if we
Gotcha.
want to kind of get ready now before we maybe request an audience and have to like it's just me showing up, yeah, that might not be the
Right,
best.
right. So you want to talk to the whole council, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're asking, they probably be willing to do that. So any preparations that anyone wants to make?
Can I use one of my 3 uses of like the book?
For what purpose?
I want to maybe see if I can find a book about the elemental incense because I mean I want to know a lot more about it, and I have been given almost no information on it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and give me a recall roll. If you use one of the books, you can get +1. Um, ouch. All right, mark experience. So you're going to remember something wildly inaccurate. I'm going to hold 1. Um, and that 1 I can spend at any time that you're pursuing this to give you a -1 on a roll. Okay. So if you want to mark down someplace that I owe you a no, might not come up anytime soon, but it's in there. Yeah. So you're absolutely convinced. Oh. One of the books was half a book. It was a 2 volume set. Okay, and you've got the first one. And it's just like, oh, okay. It's like, oh yeah, this rare and magical incense. There's a really easy way to make it. Okay, it's page 3 of book 2. Just turn to page 3 in book 2. There it is. It's all there. You're like, where? So the good news is maybe that's somewhere back in the necropolis. Who knows? Anybody else doing any preparation before talking to the council?
Could I try to unload some items? Like at the
Um,
store, see what I can get for them.
what are you trying to unload?
I have a bottle of liquor.
Ooh, what kind?
I don't think it's specified. Just 3 uses.
Ooh, okay. Give me a luck roll. Just 2d6, no bonus. Ouch. Okay. Now give me a hot roll, please. Okay. All right. So you ask around. Just by the smell, this stuff is strong, but not. It's got a bouquet like an armpit, actually, and there are many beverages that carry a message. This one is beware at all costs, right? So yes, you are able to find somebody who is willing to take pity on you and give you a jingle for this bottle of swill. Yeah, it's like 2 steps up from lighter fluid. No, I mean maybe okay, 1 big step up from lighter fluid. Ugh. So, but some people drink anything. So if you wanna exchange it, feel free.
Uh, could I try with something else? Like
Sure.
let's see. I do have an extra longbow.
Oh, yeah. That those are fairly handy to have. I think those are normally considered rare too, depending. But let me see. Um, let's see. Longbow. Mm, yeah, those are technically rare. Um, so a good price on that would be 2 jingle. Go ahead and give me a hot roll, please. Ow, buddy, mark experience. Um, the problem is you can't find anybody who knows how to use it. Um, longbows take literal years of training to use well. So, and then of course nobody out here has any arrows for it. So, you do the weaponer, the weaponsmith, and the bowyer put their heads together, and they're like, "Yeah, we could probably take it off your hands for a jingle, just in case somebody ever shows up to wants to buy it." Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Anybody else?
I want to
Actually, I
see
just want
if
to
I.
check. Oh,
Oops.
Go ahead.
because you said that we stopped by one of the towns to get like a refresh on rations and water. How much did we get, or was it like 5
It was enough.
of the 5
If
uses?
it was enough to get back to the temple and no more. So you're already out again.
I guess I'll spend 2 getting 5 food and 5 water.
Beautiful.
I think I'll probably do the same.
Okay. Just as a quick reminder, the trip to where you ran into the bug folk actually took 7 days. If that means anything.
So, something I want to do before I even like attempt to see if I can garner a council is try and wash up
Oh,
and
sure.
change into some like nicer robes
Hmm.
for like more leaning on the less adventure side, more on the I'm here for the like professional order and gathering to worship the light type side.
Sure.
So
Who'd we lose?
Hudson, can you rejoin?
Got to wiggle.
I don't know what happened. I think his computer just like
Is that going to be oh, sound? Gotcha.
Hmm.
Speak the speech we pray you.
Yeah. So it might be great if we just took our break a little bit early.
Sure, we can do that. Technical issues, faithful viewer. We'll get that resolved here in the next, let's say 10 minutes. We'll shoot for 15. I've got 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back by 3:11. And thanks for watching, folks. We appreciate you. If you're liking this, make a few notes in the comments. Just, let us know it's just not my great aunt in Peoria watching us. Hi, Miss Millie. How are you doing? And then if you want to tell a couple of friends about us, if you're liking us. All right, we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Count us out there, sir.
All right, bye.
Welcome back, folks. Thanks again for tuning in to No Theoretical Bias, Fortress of Bone, season of the Witch. Small town witch, gonna mess you up. All right. So when last we met, we were just getting back to the temple. Brother Xander has asked for an impromptu meeting of the council to talk a little bit about who knows what. There's been some minor shopping going on, and so the council convenes. Question. Luther, you're a known issue to the temple, in that you're carrying around an artifact of evil with a spirit inside of it. Boo on you, but you are kind of doing the right thing with it. It's like, oh yes, it's a demon. He's got a demon with him, a polite demon that would hold a door for a lady, but a demon nonetheless, So yeah, they're not particularly comfortable with you bringing that into the council chamber. And that's very gently brought to you. If you want to find something else to do, go for a walk, do your hair, talk about boys, whatever. I mean, whatever. They don't judge. Just they're not. If you're willing to put the thing down and come in and listen, that's one thing. But if you're not, they understand that life is hard all over. What's your call?
I'm not leaving my lantern.
Okay, got it. All right. So the rest of you, anybody who wants to attend a council session is welcome. Obviously, Xander. Was hoping that you'd be able to put in your 2 cents. All right, so you come in. It's a fairly impromptu setting. Even though there's a hierarchy in the temple, there's a very much, we're all kind of just folks. Okay, so you've got the elders are Mother Euclea. She's probably of elvish descent. She's got dark hair, almost black. It's shaved on both sides. Beautiful green eyes. And she has a reputation, Brother Xander, of she judges people by actions, not words. Again, usually a good thing. She's very much put your money where your mouth is kind of a person. And you've had some interactions with all these people, so this is like firsthand knowledge. Then there's Mother Califo. Mother Califo is a dwarf. She has got blonde hair that she keeps tied back in a couple of braids. Her eyes are so dark as to be almost black. And she has earned a reputation of being generally optimistic and very fair-minded. Okay, if I don't know, if an evil spirit was dragged before Mother Califo, and it's like, all right, you got to atone for your sins, but let's hear you out, kind of a thing. Very fair-minded. There's Father Harpaxius. He's human. He's got his nice little robes on. Bald. Relatively tall. Father Harpaxius, he's kind of a risk taker. If somebody's like, oh gosh, this is so crazy, it just might work, the good father would be like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be kind of cool. He does unfortunately have a reputation for holding grudges. So, and he can kind of be talked down off of those if required. But yeah, probably not a good idea to get on his bad side. Father Albanus, on the other hand, he's the youngest of the council. Probably only in his 40s. Red-headed, loud talker, one of those who's just a little bit too loud for the room. Not the brightest ray of sunshine, actually. Kind of a pessimist. But the council kind of appreciates that, because if everybody is also, oh yeah, happiness and light and everything's going to turn out great, Albinus is like, no, it's not, and we're all going to die if we don't take that into account, and blah blah blah. So again, having someone thumbs down on every idea can be beneficial for the group. Finally, there's Grandmother Cordia. Of all the people who are not in charge of the temple, she's probably, the biggest one who's not in charge. Grandmother Cordia has got gray hair. It's shaved on one side. Very, very eloquent. She just gives off the vibes of everyone's grandma. And on her, it's not just a title. And benevolent. I mean, you may have been a youngster in the temple, and she's down in the kitchen in the middle of the night, and you're like, gosh, your grandmother, what are you doing? She's like, I'm making cookies. You want one? Here you go. Ooh, tasty. She has this odd habit of talking mostly in whispers. People lean forward to, what did she say? I don't know. She talks in whispers. Maybe it's an attention-getting device. And she's always the last one to chime in on anything. Okay? She wants to hear all the opinions. She wants to hear all the data. She's like, all right, let's hear it. Okay? And if anybody wants to add anything, okay, you all can do the debate. Yep. And she'll just sit here and nod. But when she says something, yeah, she's always the last word somehow. All right, so they're all looking expectantly at you. You're sitting on various comfy chairs and couches. It's a warm day, so they've got the windows open a little bit, letting through a breeze. So, brother. Oh, they all do, congratulate you. They come over to shake your hand and pat you on the back and, congratulate you on your promotion. Well, about time. Yeah. We knew you had it in you. So, good. So everybody sits. So, what did you want to talk about? This is Mother Euclea. What did you wish to speak about, brother?
I'm sure some of you may know that me and some members of my party here, we traveled north in search of possible explanations for the Dominion, to see perhaps what were their intentions and what do they mean by protection. And we have come across some very bad news. They do not mean protection in any good way. We actually spoke to my compatriot over here, actually Ranveer. He spoke to several of, I guess you could say, a form of tribe that we're calling the Bug People currently, and they have some pretty bad news. Ranveer, you know a little bit more of the direct translation if you'd like to just kind of relate what they just said.
Essentially, what they mean by protection, according to the elders I spoke to, is control, and slavery for anyone who does not conform to their ideals.
We were afraid of that. Just what? Yes. Mother Khalifa has a question. Why do you call them bug people? Do they skitter around? Are they very small?
Well, so they wear armor made of chitin,
Oh,
probably sourced from local creatures.
oh. Where did you run into these bug themed tribal folk?
Around the necropolis.
All right, now you have everybody's attention.
On the northern end of the Acropolis, they appear to have taken up.
Brother, I don't think any of your studies were neglected. From what I remember, all the teachers spoke very well of you and your knowledge and understanding of history, geography, mathematics, etc. Did you miss the lesson about how the necropolis is deadly? Did we
No,
just skip that part? Okay.
I did attend those lessons. It appeared at the time we had some circumstances presented in front of us, and we also met. I'm sure that you're aware of these people as well. We also met a few, specifically two poisoned ones, and I know this may also grab your attention, and this may also seem very dangerous, but if there's nothing else that assures you of how correct it is to have assigned these members to my party, Ranveer also was able to talk to the poisoned ones and make very quick and possibly long lasting friendships with these two poisoned ones, while also obtaining some very valuable information um, as well.
Uh, your, Ranveer, my hat is off to you. You apparently contain hidden depths. We have had very minor dealings with poisoned ones for the obvious reasons. Um, I every I shudder to think what you will say next, brother. Everything you've said so far has been so terrifyingly exciting. Um, so, tribe of folk using chitinous armor, excellent. Did the poison ones mention anything about the Dominion?
Not in my conversation with them. With
Hmm.
them, no.
Hmm. Right. So, where did you get your information that the Dominion were so um, acquisitive?
I guess that the best way to say that we gathered our information, you could say, was from a witness, but I feel Ranveer and I and the rest of the party would rather say from a survivor. Uh, he was, I'm sure we all have heard the stories of the Northwestern tribes, and a few of us may have even run into them. If they still exist after the severe raiding parties that it appears the Dominion has sent out,
Hmm.
they are in such shambles they would not be able to help us anymore. But we were able to talk to a survivor who escaped the Dominion, and he actually spoke our common tongue, and Ranveer had even more conversation with that individual.
Hmm. So this is bad news indeed. Do you bring? Is there any light in the darkness? Any
We,
anything to bring hope?
as much as I would hope there would be some saving grace, it appears the only thing we can rely on is how personable we are and how we can bring the light to other people. While this
Hmm.
isn't a time for a certain lesson, we were able to talk to the chitinous warriors, and they seem that they might be open to a possible alliance with us to defend against the Dominion or make a stand against the Dominion. But the issue is the Dominion is already so powerful, we may need to look for more people to possibly even just survive.
Hmm. Yes. Now you said that the bug folk lived within somewhere in the necropolis.
Towards the
Yes.
outskirts,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, that speaks volumes about their ability to survive. Um, you were speaking of an alliance, which would be beneficial, especially if they could provide some of that material to work with, give it to our crafters to see if we can make anything viable out of it. Um, any other potential sources of alliance?
As much as I want to say we should bridge to the Northwestern tribes, I think it would be better if we perhaps didn't send out a diplomat now, but instead sent out. I think my group would be best suited to not only go to the Northwestern tribes, but also perhaps dive a little bit deeper into the necropolis. There's quite a few Dominion holdings everywhere. The Dominion is so large at this point. It
Dominion holdings within the necropolis?
They have an outpost.
That's well, so there's some discussion between the elders. Basically, they're kicking it around like if the Dominion is expansionistic and slaveholding, which they are, and they seem to revere the pre-fall uh, ancients, or at least want to take a page from their book, so to speak. They might be looking for some knowledge or information in the necropolis, and that would be bad. But again, based on their gear, they do know at least some of the secrets of the ancients for weaponsmithing, armor making. And if they want something badly enough to put a post in the necropolis to find it, it may be you say true. It's and do we not? I don't know that we want them to find it, if that's the case. So what did you suggest?
I, as much as he is not, as much as he is feared in this council, I feel that one of our members, Luther, is currently the most prepared individual when it comes to finding and seeking this knowledge in a very devout sense. Uh, he may be one of the few people that, if we were to go to the necropolis, he might be able to find it. Just perhaps it's his spirit, perhaps it's his own essence. I don't really know what it is about Luther, but Luther, if there's something in the necropolis that they're looking for, Luther may find it first.
Your loyalty to your friend is commendable. And again, there are none here who would not say that he has access to powers and abilities that are beyond most. We do have a tendency to question his motives, but he has been using his quote unquote powers for good. I just again, you have shown yourself to be a good and worthy servant of the light, and have shown excellent judgment in your dealings with people of all stripes. So we are prepared to take your firsthand knowledge of your friend as good as gold. We just worry a bit. Um, so yes, of course. This There's some nods around the council. Grandmother hasn't spoken up yet, though. This is is worth looking into. If you would be willing to be the point of the spear on that, and find out what these Dominionists are looking for. If there's what's the what do they say? What's the end game? Um, so again, we could provide supplies and gear for an extended extended trip. Um, Again, do you think your new potential allies might be interested in trading some of that
The chitinous material.
Titan armor? Yeah.
Yeah, they may be. In fact, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring some of my party members here is I have this ring, and I'm going to present the bug ring that we have.
Hmm.
And I was told that if we were to send anybody back, uh, that we should first present them with this ring. It may also be of use to you. Randview over here knows a few basics of their conversation and of their language. Uh,
Hmm.
he may be able to write down and help perhaps a future diplomat just make sure they don't get shot, uh,
Mm.
so that we may begin to trade with them. They do value things like weapons and things that will help them survive, but they don't necessarily value learned things like books. Uh, they sold those quite easily. Um, it may be of it may be a greatly important thing for us to send out a diplomat and perhaps a few other people to help trade. Uh, but
Excellent. Yes.
but when deciding who, we should probably find someone who may be able to weather the harsh conditions.
That's always a consideration. I mean, we raise and train good people here. I'm sure we'll have volunteers. Did you have anyone in mind, or just?
Uh, as my promotion to brother was kind of recent, I haven't been able to really interact with any new acolytes. But I just make it someone you might actually want to send one of your researchers if he's good at finding books. Luther, who was your friend's name? I forgot his name.
Liam.
Okay, you
Hmm,
might want to send Liam.
hmm, an interesting choice. Um, hmm, uh, well, I mean, you all know Liam. He would require a little bit of, that's how we say, protection along the way. Um, not, a lovely soul and completely valuable to the cause, but not the most practical minded person. Would you
Okay,
agree?
I would agree, but I would also say it is now, it should now, with the Dominion, to it's kind of really close to us in a way that they can reach us quickly.
Mm,
It is now very important that every individual has protection.
mm, true, 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 true. Well, um, let us put our heads together and see if we can find a suitable candidate for both trade and research. Again, that was a good thought. Um, and then if we can see if we can find anything about, hmm, it would help with with anyone that you spoke to. Um, did they give you any thoughts or insights as to what the Dominion might want? What, goals that would certainly go a long way to helping us figure out, how they could be dealt with, stopped, whatever.
And Ranveer had a long conversation about the possible motivations
Hmm.
with the survivor.
Mm. Any?
After speaking with the survivor, I can
Mhm.
surmise that their main goals, including like a restorationist, trying to bring the world back to pre-fall, but under their vision.
Mm, yes, that's not an uncommon. Hmm. Yes, we here in the temple have also had brothers and sisters over the years who thought that that might be a good idea, trying to somehow restore the wonders of the ancient times. But, times being what they are. Well, all right. Let us find some people for your trip, um, and go down and discuss with the trade folk about what you'll need to get there and establish some sort of base of operations, I suppose. But yes, and grandmother Cordia stands up. Everyone falls quiet for a second, and she walks over and she pats you on the cheek and says, "We I knew we picked the right one for doing this. So thank you, brother. Please be safe. Please, please." So, if y'all want, uh, I don't know, if you can think of a list of things you might want to take with you on this little journey, they do ask. His name's Laris, correct?
Who?
Your researcher brother.
Oh, that was Liam.
Oh, sorry, researcher Liam. Um, Liam is itching to go, so you'll need to take care of him on the trip. Um, and then there is a trader, um, Carla. Carla's this very tall, dark hair, cut short. Um, she's a tough looking individual, like 6 feet tall, human. Um, and yeah, will cut a mean deal. Um, so basically, Trader Carla gets together a wagon load of potential stuff. Not even a wagon, it's a cartload of potential stuff that some tribal folk might want or need, um, as trade goods. And then anything that she can trade for, they'll just bring back. Um, and Liam, again, just itching, excited, just can't wait. You're also given enough food and water to get there, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, and oh, Liam actually helps you out a little bit. He actually has some pre-fall maps of the area. They're not great, but they do show things like hills and landmarks and mountains and distant points. So you can actually travel to where you were as if it was quote unquote safe territory. You're still going to want to scout just in case, but you won't have to worry about getting lost. So, any other preparations that you wanted to make before the trip back to visit your new friends?
Do you guys have anything?
I mean, I don't even know what's going on. I'm outside the building.
Oh well, they bring you up to speed on this. So
I
anything
wanna.
that you want.
Could I replenish my ash meal cracker without spending jingle, or
Oh yeah, if you want to. Yeah, it's again, you've got they'll give you for nothing. They'll give you enough food and water to get there safely.
okay.
Um, so anything more than that, you're going to want to deal with.
I'm gonna try and get an extra. Let's see, do I have any ration? Okay, that give me enough to get there. Um, could I ask them if we could all get a little bit extra water?
Sure.
Just like one more canteen if everybody.
Yeah, you could get an extra 2 uses of water for nothing.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Also, I think since I don't have a short bow anymore, I'll dump my short bow ammo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that brings me down to. All right, yeah, I'm good gear wise. Um, yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Ready to rock. Okay. Anybody else need anything?
I don't believe so.
I don't think I need anything.
Okay. So if you want to give me let's see. If you want to pick somebody to be a scout, again, just so you don't get bit on the way there.
Luther.
I can do it.
Gotcha. And then yeah, I don't think we'll have to worry about um food and water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anywho. So other than that, yeah, you're gonna have to spend 7 food and water each. Again, the other members of the group are already taken care of. Go ahead and give me a pool roll there, Luther, just to make sure nothing jumps you. Fine, beautiful, fantastic, amazing. Okay, um, so you make it back to the place you were before. You do have to wait a little bit before the bug folk um, come out of hiding, basically. But you're patient. In fact, you think you even found the old site where you first started talking. So well done.
There we go.
So some of the scouts approach you cautiously. You show them the ring. All right. So let's just see. Um, well, they're always willing to trade with, nice people. They're big into again, good food, metal gear and weapons and items and worked goods like leather. They're not the greatest leather workers in the world, and so straps and buckles and rivets and things, that's always beneficial. Um, they do have kind of a stockpile of bug parts, but it's kind of like the whole group. This is what they use. This is their like a staple. So, and they try to use every part of it. Some of the leg bones and the little ones you can make flutes out of, or blowguns, or pipes, or whatever. So yeah, but they've got some big pieces that might be suitable. So the trading is going very, very well. Researcher Liam picks up on their language almost instantly. It's like, oh, this is related to this other language, blah, 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 and they'll talk your ear off about it. Okay, Liam, very nice. Cool story, bro. Okay, cool. So he's just excited, and he's just, and they're just, the bug folk are just like watching him run around like a puppy, oh gosh, what is this? Oh, what part of the bug is this? Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, it comes from the underside there on the thorax, the place where the thing, and it's just like, yes, Liam, calm down, calm down. So he's happier than a pig in poop. So here you are. Trade is arranged. You do get a chance to talk to Bokula again, Chief Bokula. And he says, well, honestly, I didn't expect to see you back. So your people are interested in some sort of alliance. Okay. We sent out some scouts to check out the Dominion outpost that Thorne was talking about, and it ain't great. We did get eyes on this outpost, but it looks like it's been abandoned. Not really sure why. It's now it is right on the northern edge of bug territory. And if they weren't prepared for that, that they could have run afoul of them. So, but the scouts didn't see any signs of habitation. Just they put together some defenses, and yeah, don't know if there's anything worthwhile over there to look for, but you're welcome to it. We can tell you how to get there on the map if you are interested. The Dominion site, let's make them red. Red Dominion sites, just like this. They're right over here. It's going to be outpost. All right. So that's one thing. What are y'all doing?
What do you guys want to do?
I want to go in the city.
I mean,
I
if we're
agree
making our
with-
way to the outpost, yeah.
Yeah, I think before we do that, we should ask if they have any like bug parts we could put on ourselves.
I mean, we could probably sell you some.
Okay. Are there any that would go over my current armor that I wouldn't have to replace my armor with, or?
Well, here's the question. They're it's not really a leather worker, and it's not really a metal worker, since he works in bug parts. So the chitin worker, shall we say, he's this little guy. Well, is it going to be like protective, or you just want something that looks buggish? Because there's one that looks buggish. All right, yeah. Oh, I got plenty of that stuff. So he's got these like these really thin shells thin chitinous things, and he measures you up with some string, and he's basically cutting it with an old pair of like cheap shears, holds it up. Okay, cool. Oh, I got this. I love this. And he puts this, basically it's a breast and back plate, completely decorative, but he's really proud on the back. It's got the two halves, so it looks like you can open up and flap away on your little bug wings. He's happy with that. Finds you there's a really big like bug head. Um, that will fit over your helmet. He's gonna he you two have to work a little bit together so that he can cut enough space so it still looks bug, but you can actually see out of it, and get you some, yeah. So from here, half a block away, if you squint, if the light is not the greatest, yeah, you look vaguely buggish. So should be good. And and his
Just me,
name
that's
is.
everyone.
This is currently just you,
Okay.
but he's looking at you. His name is Tanula, and he's another one of these. Let's see, Tanula the Crafter. He's another one of these who picks up information relatively easily. So he's got a thick accent, um, but again, if he's making deals with people, he's pretty quick on picking up words here and there. So yeah. Let's see here then. If everybody could just give me just a luck roll, and not Xander, because you got the first pick, but Albrecht, Luther, and Ranvir, just give me a luck roll.
2d6.
Luther, you're dying. You're killing me here. Yeah, 2d6, no modifier, please. Ranvir, geez. Okay. Albrecht, the stuff that he finds for you is fits about right. Again, it's not particularly uh, protective, but again, if you squint, you kind of look like a bug. Luther and Ranvir, both of you mark experience, please. Um, the problem is this: either the stuff he has is really heavy and still not particularly protective. It's like 1 or 2 weight for the whole amount of gear, or it fits really badly. It's going to give you penalties to like move around and do things. So you can either go for the no thank you, no harm, no foul. You can go for the heavy stuff and add 2 weight worth of bug disguise, or you can do a 1 weight worth of bug disguise that gives you a -1 ongoing to anything involving like quick. Your
Um,
call.
Seeing as Ranveer as on the smaller side,
Hmm.
I think maybe he can use the other two people kind of as
Okay.
cover. So
Yeah,
I'm going to say
kind
no,
of.
thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Anybody
I'm not
else?
I'm not wearing that stuff. No thanks.
Okay, cool. If you choose, you have made a choice. Awesome. Okay, so you're outfitted for better or for worse. You got your food, got your water, got a general direction. What do you do?
Let's go for it,
Let's
right?
go.
Going for it. Oh, well, all right. Um, okay. Oh, right in the middle. Beautiful. Okay, so you're proceeding. This is again traveling trackless wastes. It's only going to be, you think it's only going to be about a day's travel away. So again, we're going to need a scout, a trailblazer, and a quartermaster. Who's doing what?
Can I do something, guys? Because even if I fail, I'm kind of close to leveling up.
I'll
cool.
sit back this time.
No,
Everyone
no,
can
no,
get
no,
XP.
no,
I can sit back.
No, no. Uh-uh.
no.
I'm gonna do a cool roll.
Okay, well, tell me what everybody's role is, please.
Luther, you should be the scout.
All right.
Okay. Who wants to be Trailblazer?
I'll be quartermaster, just because we're so close at this point. Like, if we
Right.
lose an extra ration or two,
Right.
that's okay.
And I think that probably leaves me then.
Okay. So, Trailblazer, go ahead and give me a roll, please. Okay. That's fine. You get there again in about a day, so no faster, no slower. Awesome. And quartermaster.
All right, here we go.
Ouch. All right. Well, it does actually take you 2 food and 2 water each to get there. So go ahead and mark that. And it's probably more along the lines of just the rations didn't stretch as far as they might. Maybe some of the meat was really stringy, or something went. It wasn't actively like rotten, but it was a little off. So you only like ate half of it and threw it away. That sort of thing. Okay. So now the big one. Go ahead and give me the scouty roll.
Whew.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's high enough, Luther. Did you want to find something of interest, or just have it be completely boring?
I'd like to find something of interest.
Okay. So you are all traveling through this eerie landscape. Um, you're having a really hard time imagining just how big this city was. Um, Tens of thousands of people. Okay. And just you're seeing signs that this might have been some sort of temple. That was obviously a marketplace over there. Um, a, like an amphitheater. I mean, it's going on for miles. It's this huge testament to a bunch of people living together in relative harmony. Again, the logistics of it is a little crazy. How many people would it take to feed all the people in this place? Anyway, but still deserted. You all jump a little bit at a noise, and you turn weapons ready, and out comes this dog. Um, just a dog, and he's been following you for a little while. And he approaches cautiously, a little skinny, um, and doesn't make any hostile action. What do you do?
You know what? I think Luther's gonna give him like some food.
Oh, okay. He um hmm. He eats it, um, but not like you would think a hungry dog would eat it. Just like, yeah, it was more of a, oh, thanks, nom 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 nom, and whines. There's kind of a hmm. Yeah, it doesn't look in particularly good health. So what do you do?
Could I possibly try to find out what's wrong with the dog?
Sure. What mechanism would you like to use on that?
Uh, I guess just like observing it, seeing anything physical.
Well, um, it's um, it's again not not particularly well fed. So it is eating uh, quite again, it's eating like it's not quite starving, but not really. Like it's having a hard time taking the food in and keeping it down. How close of an examination do you make of the animal?
Like a good look over, but not like physical.
Okay. Well, you approach, give it some food, and it rolls over on its back very, very passively. And you can't help but notice it's got a fresh scar from like just below the ribs in a fairly straight line down to one hip. Actually, it's across the body. So, bottom of one rib down across the body to the other. And this is a fairly livid scar. Um, Again, fresh and pink and barely healed, kind of a thing. Um, and it looks like it's been sutured shut, but the sutures are strange. You know that a lot of folks, in the post fall world, they use a lot of different things. If you can get silk to stitch somebody up, that's spider silk. Heck yeah, they'll use spider silk. Pack it with this, tie it up with that. The one that comes closest to what you think, there was a group that you ran into or read about at some point. They bred these centipedes. Um, these centipedes with no poison, and they're just really really long and oddly segmented, and they had really nasty little claws on the end of their little foots. And what they would do is they'd put the centipede on a wound that they wanted to stitch shut and kind of hold it in place, and then they pop the head off of this centipede, and the whole body would go like this, and the little claws would grab and hold the wound shut. Okay, that's not what's happening here, but that's the impression you get. Something made an incision and then held this wound shut somehow until it heals. What do you do?
I think Luther might ask the lantern if it could heal it.
You've got healing spells with the lantern?
No, but wouldn't hurt to ask.
Give me a hot roll there, Luther.
Yes. The angry fire spirit.
It could heal.
Are you thinking cauterization?
Something along the
Um,
lines of that. Ooh.
um, well, um, so your spirit, you hear the voice in your head, the spirit laughs. Um, you and I have not made a bargain for that. And so I'm open to negotiation. Also, I don't think there's anything wrong with that mutt that I could do anything about.
Hmm.
Anybody else?
Well,
I can't remember. Does anybody else have any healing spells?
I have
I mean,
a good amount.
I mean, I know this is not how this works, but it would be really interesting if, like, you could break a purification stone off, like a tiny little pebble off of a
Mm-hmm.
purification stone, and almost
Mm-hmm.
eat it like a pill. So if there was some sort of like, if he ate something bad or something like was,
Kind of like
you
an
know,
antibiotic.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
but I,
You do in fact have got hands of grace there, brother. You can heal people of wounds and disease. something to think about.
Grandview, if you want to heal the dog.
Sure, I'll heal the dog.
What are you using to heal it with?
I
I have
have.
Hands of Grace.
Yeah,
Oh,
you do.
I didn't see this.
You,
Yeah,
you
I'll
do.
do Hands of Grace. Yeah, let's do
Oh,
that.
okay. Go ahead and give me a roll, please. Bleep. Okay, so you can heal 1d8 damage or remove 1 disease. Well, I'll tell you this: you don't have to roll to heal any damage because it's apparently not particularly damaged. But when you lay hands on the animal, it calms under your hand and then starts to shiver a little bit and then starts to gag violently. Sooner or later, it horks up this big grub. Okay. It's obviously some sort of insect like larva thing and just yaks it up. And the thing is like squirming around on the ground.
Can I burn it?
Yes, you may. Don't even need to don't even need to roll. You're just like, kill it with fire. Okay. So a little flamethrower finger there. Yeah. And the dog immediately looks a lot less in distress. So Xander, it's licking your hands and licking your face, and just it has a lot more energy than it did before. Um, that thing had every sign of being some kind of parasite, and you don't know where it got it, but gross. So you're pretty much the proud owner of a dog. So deal with that as you may. And that's the last thing that happens right before you bump into what you were pretty sure is this outpost. Okay, so the outpost is a series of buildings. You think uh, they're mostly either adobe brick or scavenged stone from the surrounding area. Okay. And basically there there's two large round uh, buildings connected to 6 other smaller round buildings, and I'll draw you a little diagram here. What you got is they whoever built this thing cleared an area and probably sight lines for like shooting bows or crossbows, maybe eventually siege weapons, not quite sure. But there's a couple of big um buildings round. Then there's again 6 smaller ones of these, and they're connected with these like dugout and covered trenches, almost, I guess you could call them. Basically, if you have these buildings, the trenches are probably wide enough for 2 people to walk abreast, kind of a thing. Stop moving. But like it's obviously a defensive situation. I'm not drawing this real well, but so basically all the little circles are connected with covered trenches, and then all of the I'm not sure I'm drawing well. Anyway, you're looking at it there. So two, one on the east, one on the west, three across the north, three across the south, um, connected in the center. So it's obviously set up as some kind of defensive arrangement. Here, there's like little places for smoke holes, chimneys, that kind of a thing. There's only you only see like two real entrances in your scouting. There's a what looks like a set of reinforced double doors um, on the north side of the one building, and then there's a larger door on the other side of the uh, western building. So this was again fairly at the time it was built. It was probably fairly well. Oops, that's moving. Fairly well engineered, and it shows that there was a lot of work put into this thing. I'll get a better picture of this eventually, but yeah. So you got a killing zone cleared out around it for archery and or crossbow fire. You did see both when the troops were leaving the temple. You saw archer. They had bows and crossbows, more crossbows than bows, but that's kind of stands to reason too. Um, yeah, and this would be a very Albrecht, you and Xander both have got a little bit of military background. This would be a very tough position to take. Just because the yeah the rounded buildings give it you can't bunch up. The defenders are going to have an advantage on that. It's not there's no towers, so it's not going to be able to drop anything on you. But that might have been too many questions. So it's a low defensive structure set up to shoot the hell out of you if you try to sneak up um, within crossbow range. So what do you do?
I think we need to defer to Albrecht here. He has a little bit more experience with combat situations.
Okay. So yeah, based on your knowledge and history, Albrecht, you can ask me some questions about the site.
But first, I want to ask you a question from before. So they said the boat people sent a scouting party here, and they said that there was nobody left, right?
They didn't. They said they saw no signs of occupation or activity. Basically, they didn't
Okay.
see anybody here.
So probably my first question then, uh, being possibly familiar with these, would this, or at least would the entrances in the north or the west have any traps set to them?
That's a really good question. All right. Uh, you might actually even have some experience with that. Um, if um, if you were in charge of a military thing, post like this, shall we say. If you were in charge of it and you knew that it was going to be attacked, okay, you got a couple of choices. If you're pretty sure that you can defend it, you defend it. Fine. If you're pretty sure you can't, you might leave some nasty surprises for anybody who actually makes it inside. This does not show the signs um, of like a fight, a last stand. The buildings are all still standing. Um, so if there's nobody here, they probably left of their own accord. But that would mean, yeah, if you bailed out of here in a hurry, you would definitely leave some nasty surprises for whoever wanted to wander in. And again, opens a possibility for you coming back because you know where all the traps and nastiness would be. So yeah, you'd expect traps.
Okay.
Do
I
we
actually
try
think what
our?
the second question
Oh,
would be.
Okay.
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, do we try our tried and true strategy of hiding behind Xander while he walks in?
Yeah, but
I'm supportive of
Albrecht,
that.
Albrecht, keep that in mind when you come up with how we approach this. My shield is pretty big.
It has
He could
eaten a
take the
lot
hit.
before.
He could take the hit.
Honestly, my first ideas of approach, if it was locked, the idea was Albert was just gonna kick the door down.
Right.
We can
Well,
we
you
can
do. Go
you
ahead.
can run up with me in front, and then like you right behind me, and then I just like fling, and then you come out and just like punch the door or kick the door or whatever we need to do. That way, if there's
Gotcha.
any like
I'll,
fire coming in,
I'll be
we're a
far.
single target.
Hmm.
But then when we get close, it's quick action.
Gotcha.
But and then Luther and Ranveer can wait and see if we die, and then
Yeah, you guys go ahead. I can wait.
Okay.
Actually,
So
before that, you said I had two questions, right? Or
yeah,
only
you
one
can you
question?
can ask a couple questions if you want.
I think probably my other question would be, um, is there any particular room of interest within this outpost? Like, is there like a war room or a storage space?
How would you know?
Mm. But I said I had experience, or at least I, as a soldier, I
Oh,
could have had at
oh, oh,
least
oh,
some
oh, oh.
experience with it.
Oh, okay. Maybe not with this one in particular. All right. So somebody says, "All right, uh, Albrecht, I need you to set up a outpost someplace particularly nasty, scary, dangerous, whatever." Right. So you're like, "Well, what am I going to need?" Let's see. I'm going to need a place to, live. I'm going to need a place to house the troops. Um, Store stuff, keep records. So in a place like that, you'd be like, all right, there's going to be storerooms. There's going to be probably a commander's uh, orders. There's probably going to be barracks. There might be an armory, just a place for more weapons in case, you know, she might be looking for a place with a few buckets of crossbow quarrels. Um, Storage, depending on how high tech you got, there might even be bathrooms in there, like a latrine. You'd have to be real careful with that. Um, and yeah, the big one's going to be like water storage because if you make it too hard for anybody to get in, you also make it really hard for anybody to get out. Um, so and you might actually be looking for like a secret way out, a bolt hole in the event that badness happens. So yeah, those would be, some of those are necessary, some of those would just be really good things to have. So
Okay.
All right. So you got two doorway approaches. Um, what uh, what do you think as far as way to get in?
Do we just want to, break down the door?
Which one
I
are you
mean,
going for? The single large door or the set of double doors?
I have bad experience with double doors. I feel like we go
Uh-huh.
for the single large door.
Single large door. Okay.
As long as I'm not
Before
taking
we
the hit, I'm
break
in.
it down, before we break it down, despite how much I want to do that, let's have Xander try to open it since he's the one with the shield.
Oh,
Since he's
okay.
the one
All
with the
right.
shield. Oh,
And if that fails, I will kick it down.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Good. Sucked. All right. So which the single door. All right. As you approach it, there are some things of concern right out in front of it. And these things look like very large, very dead bugs. Um,
Mm.
they the chitin seems burned. Um, like and there's a big burn spot on the ground between them. Um,
might be a flame trap.
Like a
could be.
landmine.
Could be a flame trap, could be somebody could have thrown some like a Molotov, though you don't see any signs of glass or pottery here. Um, but yeah, it's pretty impressive. These well, first of all, these bugs. Um, they're slightly larger than human sized each. They're they're an odd they kind of look like a cross between a ant and a beetle. Um, they do have a separate like head and thorax, and abdomen like an ant. Um, but the one part of it is very large and has a split in it, so it probably has wings like a beetle. So these things at one probably could fly, maybe. And there's three of them that got caught in whatever blast is here. Very, very dead. The door, the large single door is actually partly open.
Okay. Can we see anything inside, or is it too?
It's very dark.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Plan A. I'm just gonna go up to the door and try and like open it wider.
Sounds good.
I mean,
Okay. The door swings in actually.
Okay.
Makes it easier to bar. You're at the head of a very small landing. Um, and there's stairs leading down. Um, what are you all doing for a light source?
First, Luther, can you do the thing that you did in the sewer and just like, just to see if, you know what I mean?
just shoot a fireball.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, wait, hold on. I just thought about it. There could be explosives.
Oh, I have those light orbs from like a while ago. I could just
I
throw
have
down
one of
there.
them too.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right. So if you put together the base and the orb, that actually lights up the space fairly well from where you're standing. Um, I mean, not like daylight or anything, but you can obviously tell where you're at. This is apparently was apparently some kind of barracks. Um, so having a barracks slash guard room as the first cracker out of the barrel when you come into a fortress is probably a good idea. Um, you can't see entirely across the space because there are a couple of walls. So you've got the stairs just in the entryway. There's a short wall here, and then there's another wall that kind of cuts the space. Oops, I didn't need to do that. Kind of cuts the space in half. I didn't do that. Hold on a second. Work the way I want you to work, not the way I tell you to work. Silly thing. There we go.
I
Okay,
know this is kind of a weird question,
sure.
but it seems weird that there would be a dog here in the first place if this area is so much run by bugs.
Hmm.
How's the dog reacting to us being around the fortress?
Um, well, it it's not acting like this was home or anything. Seems a little nervous when it smells um the bugs. It goes over like to make sure that the bugs are dead, kind of a thing. Um, and seems a lot happier when it finds out that they are. But so the space is actually divvied up a little bit like this. Oops, I did it again. Got it. Divvied up a little bit like this. So this is actually an archway into another space that you can't see into. This is all barracks. Okay, so bunk beds, um, like footlocker style chests, um, little like side tables. So if you and your buddy were sitting on one bunk and you had a little table between you, and then your other two buddies were sitting on the other bunk, you could play dominoes or cards or roll some dice or whatever. But it was definitely set up for a large group of warrior types to hang out in here. Um, some uh, like weapon racks, easy access weapon racks.
Are any of the weapon racks like filled, or is it just the racks?
It's just the racks.
Okay.
Can Luther walk next to the dog?
If he wants, sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Guys, I'm gonna.
can I look into the chest?
Sure. Um, there's like some odds and ends, like a broken belt buckle or it's scraps. Um, what it's this place shows the sign of a rapid withdrawal. Um, so there's nothing immediately of value or of interest unless you want to make a more concerted search.
Uh, I'll I'll do deeper search.
Okay, go ahead and give me a TikTok. That would be a it's a standard move, Owen. Come on. Observe. Give me observe roll, please. Boip. All right. So you get one question. When you act on the answers, you take +1 forward. And there is your list.
What here is Useful, valuable, or informational.
What would you like? Useful, valuable, or informational?
Informational.
Informational. Okay. Do you want information about the people, the place, or something else?
Something else.
Oh, let's see. Um, well, first of all, you notice that that blast, whatever killed the three bugs right outside the door, the blast is centered slightly inside the doorway, which just screams booby trap to you. Um, and it seems it's also seemed the blast also seems to have affected the stuff closest to the like the furnishings and bedding and stuff closest to the door. Um, which again, yeah, they probably trapped it. Um, and the bugs to get in would have had to have been able to open the door. It wasn't just pushed shut. There was a fairly, it's not a complicated latch or doorknob, but it was a latch that would have had to have been manipulated properly to get the door open. So, um, information, the place is, thank you, Albrecht, the place is probably trapped. And second, those bugs are of at least enough intelligence to be able to work a doorknob. So what do you do?
So I share that with the group,
Okay.
especially considering if they got the door open, uh, they might be in here, or something might be in here.
Possibly, sure.
Okay.
Now what?
So guys, do we want to maybe stack up and check out the little arch area, or
Sure.
You guys can.
oh, okay.
Certainly won't stop you. I'll follow behind, just behind.
Mhm.
Okay, and if we see any bugs, you might want to like blast them because you could possibly sacrifice them. Does that sound? Does your lantern? Is that good or?
I mean, a soul's a soul, but does a bug really have a soul?
Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting point. Okay, I'll have to maybe we talk to Liam about that one. All right, yeah, let's go for the arches.
Okay. So the archway there, it leads into a corridor that's obviously still inside the circle of the big building. That's interesting because there's spaces on the side that have murder holes built into them. So there's a door at the far end of each of these little spaces. You would go in there, stand in there with some stabby type weapons or a crossbow or whatever. And anybody who tried to get past you down this little passageway would get stabbied or shot in the back, all that goodness. So it's again a pretty decent defensive um, situation there. So this opens up again. You're oh about halfway underground on this one. These are trenches, reinforced trenches that are uh, probably up just to chest level. They've also been built up a little bit, so you've got firing positions for crossbows and whatnot. Um, Anything approaching this, if you had a fairly full contingent of defenders, anything approaching this would be taking a lot of crossbow bolts. There is another archway at the end there into a one of the smaller spaces, and you don't know if this is another defense thing, but there's a wall there, similar to the one that you saw. and whoops, and the wall actually has an actual doorway built in, that at one point was probably locked. It's not now though, because this was pretty obviously one of the armories or the armory, depending. So the door is unlatched and opened, but it does show signs that it could have had two bars across it with ways to lock the bars. So, and the reason you say armory is because, again, it's chock full of weapon racks, again, mostly empty. There is they had these small buckets, basically, these cylindrical buckets for holding crossbow bolts. There's a bucket over on the far side of the room in that corner. It's apparently mostly full of metal crossbow bolts with leather fletchings. What do y'all do?
Okay, so this is valuable. These crossbow bolts are valuable,
Mm-hmm.
and this may, if this position is actually entirely deserted, which it seems like, it may be valuable in the future, and it may be a great thing to offer up to the bug folk. But yeah, okay. Let's just keep this in mind. Do we want to keep going forward, or what do we want to do here, guys?
You said the racks were mostly empty. Is there still
Um,
stuff?
well, again, you got the bucket of crossbow bolts. There's there's one shelf that has a couple of small boxes, not boxes. Yeah, like small bags, woven of some fiber, and they're roughly circular. Not really sure what that's all about, but there's like two of those left. What do you do?
Uh, can I like look at the bag?
Sure. It's again some sort of fiber bag. It's cinched shut, and whatever's in it is about. Mm, it looks like a ring of some sort, about that thick, irregular.
I'll take one.
Okay. Do you open it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not quite sure what you're looking at. It's braided metal. And you're looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. You think maybe it's either part of maybe a small siege engine, or it could actually be a string for a real heavy duty crossbow, like an arbalest type crossbow. But you don't see any of those around.
I'm gonna
So,
keep it.
okay, fairly heavy duty cable. And there are two of them if you wanted to retrieve the other one.
I think I'll just take the one.
Okay, beautiful. Anybody else? All right. It is now 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're heading toward our end of our wrap-up period here. So, looks like it's going to be time for end of session. Teehee, end of session. So, let's start at the beginning. First of all, check your motivations. To the watching public, everybody has a motivation. If you hit your motivational goal, you get some experience points for that. Basically, if you're playing the character the way you say you wanted to play the character, bingo, you get benefits for it. Albrecht, what's your motivation?
Pride.
Which is?
Put them back in their, put them in their place for lack of respect.
Gotcha. Did you hit that this time around?
I have not.
Awesome. Brother Xander, what's your motivation?
Selfless. Endanger yourself to protect someone weaker than you.
Did you do that?
I don't really know if walking towards the fortress counts as being selfless, but
I
I
mean,
don't think we were.
you were the one in front, but okay,
Yeah.
maybe not. Luther?
Take a risk for your own personal gain.
Did you
I
hit it?
don't I don't believe I did like any major risks
Okay.
today.
Okay. Cool. Ranveer?
And mine is use magic to aid another. I didn't really hit that today.
The dog.
Yeah, but I was the one who hit it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
shoot.
Okay. Cool. So nobody hit your motivation. That's unusual, but again, not entirely unheard of. Next up, check your keys. Keys are negative personality flaws that can get triggered, and sometimes the other players are the ones who trigger it. Did anybody have their key triggered this time around?
I don't think so. I was if the committee had done anything unethically, maybe I
Hmm.
would have, but
Okay.
they didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, nothing on me either.
Okay. Beautiful. Last, take a look at your blood. Blood is relationships between you and the other players. I'm sorry, you and the other PCs. When your attitude about another party member changes, you can do what's called resolving blood and get experience for it. Did anybody have a major change in attitude about one of the other members of the group?
I don't think so today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Pretty mellow. No major changes of events. All right. So then the big three. The big three. First one. Did we learn something new about the nature of the world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you did. Everybody mark one experience, please. I mean, there was the bug thing revelation, there was the outpost revelation, there was the, oh my gosh, these guys are really well funded and organized and a little obsessive. Yeah, all of which was unpleasant, but you did learn it. Second, did you recover a noteworthy treasure?
The dog.
The dog.
The dog, the bugs,
Yes.
the yeah.
Yes, I would say. Oh, and by the way, you better have a name for that old pup by the time we get back.
We'll come up with
Or
one. Yep.
or
I
you
got
and I will have
thousands of ideas
words,
already.
and your words will be, "Oh no, not the face, not the face. I'm too pretty. Oh gosh." No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Cool. And did you defeat a noteworthy opponent?
We didn't really have a combat, so
No.
Not much. Not much. Okay. Kind of a mellow session this time around again, but you're in a good place to get into some very unpleasant fights. All right. So, lastly, we're going to do the gold stars. Gold stars are player awarded experience. You can give your gold star to anybody for any reason or no reason. So let's start with Albrecht. Who gets your gold star today, boss?
Mainly, I'm not entirely sure because I would, at least for over the course of this season, it wasn't as eventful. Or at least I don't think I can think of anything as noteworthy.
Okay. Anybody make your life a little bit better during the session? Anybody do something cool? Anybody make you smirk or smile or laugh?
Not particularly, I don't think.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Again, in the past, gold stars have been awarded by such means as, hey, who's here's really close to leveling up? Do you need another XP to do that? So keep that in mind. Brother Xander, who gets your gold star for the day?
really the main translator himself, Ranveer.
Oh, Ranveer.
Um,
Excellent. You know what, Ranver? I have noticed that just because you are kind of a gentle soul in a world that's just like, kill them and eat them and break their bones, and you're like, oh, hey guys, and they're like, damn, you're kind of polite and stuff. It strikes me that your kinder, gentler has gotten you at least the party at least as far as kill them all till they're dead, kind of a thing. So nicely done. Luther, who gets
I
yours
think
for the
I'm
day?
probably for that. I think I probably want to add my gold star to that one as well.
Oh, wonderful. 2 out of 2, Ranveer. Luther, you want to make it 3?
No.
Ornery. You're just ornery, okay?
I mean,
Just
what can I
mean.
say?
Meaner than
Well,
cat piss. Meaner than cat piss.
well,
Who gets yours?
probably Xander.
Yeah.
I mean, he saved the dog, and
Yep.
Luther has a connection with dogs that
Sure.
maybe could get explored later, but
Cool.
definitely for the dog.
Man of the hour, Tower of Power, our brother Xander. Okay. And that's did everybody get to reward your gold star? Oh, I'm sorry, Ranveer. My bad.
All good. I'd also say Xander for the whole dog thing,
Mm-hmm.
and also he did mention that he is close to leveling up.
Cool. I'm going to award my GM gold star actually to Albrecht. And so go ahead and mark 1 XP. Some also serve who stand and wait. Yeah, not since it doesn't actually have to be, rock 'em, sock 'em, punch them till they explode kind of a thing. But yes, you were very patient. I know Albrecht's whole deal is kill until they're dead, and there wasn't a lot of opportunity for that, and I don't feel like you should suffer. So 1 more XP for you. All right, show of hands. Anybody anywhere close to leveling up, which is your current level plus 7. Okay, Brother Xander and Albrecht. Cool. Anybody else getting close?
Nah.
Wait, you said
I'm
current
4
level
off.
plus 7?
Current level plus 7. So if you're 3rd level, it would
Okay.
take 10 XP.
I think aren't I first level?
Yep.
Which means I have because I have 9 XP.
Beautiful. Okay. So in our downtime, since we only have about 9 minutes, in our downtime, we'll go over leveling up, get you your next abilities and whatnot. So, hey, thanks again, faithful viewer, for tuning in. We hope to be having a published calendar of events where everybody can go and look at it any old time. We're trying to get it at least 30 days in advance, subject to change based on things like real life. But keep an eye open for that. We'll be posting on various social media. Also, please check the links above the comments below. If you are liking this game in this setting enough to want to pick up a copy, you can find a link. If you want to watch some more of the No Theoretical Bias casts, we're currently up to 3 of them. So shows currently going on Tuesdays, Sundays, and Thursdays at various times. Take a peek at that calendar. If you have any questions for us, any questions for players, GMs, maybe you want to run a game. Hey, you all seem vaguely nifty. Can I be a guest GM? Yes, you may. Hey, could I, I'm like rich and famous and important and stuff. Can I sit in on one of your sessions? Yes, you may. I'm not rich. I'm not important. I'm not cool at all. Can I sit in? Sure. Get a hold of us. We do have Discord, again, also available in comments. Show up, talk to us. We'd love to hear what you have to say about the shows and pitch us some ideas. You show up, I want to run a session of Jade Claw. Yes, sit down, grab some dice. We'll do that. I'd really like to play a game of Jade Claw, but or whatever. So thank you again so much, faithful viewers. Tune in next week. Going to be about this time, 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard. And again, we'll try to advance that, give you notice of that well in advance. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We appreciate you. Hope to see you next time. And from all of us here at No Theoretical